evening of March 31st, 1957, was a lovely night for Rodgers and Hammerstein, and for over 100 million television viewers. The fairy tale of Cinderella had been around since the end of the 17th century, and had been put on stage in numerous ballets and operas. An original musical adaptation broadcast on live television, however, would be just the kind of challenge that Rodgers and Hammerstein embraced. In many ways, the inspiration for the program came from their old chum, Mary Martin, who had played the lead in their stage version of South Pacific.
I'm as corny as cats as all, but I'm as normal as blueberry pie. No more a smart little girl with no heart. I have found a wonderful guy.
Martin had played Peter Pan on live television for NBC in 1955. The special was so successful that it was staged a second time for live broadcast only a year later. Rival network CBS wanted their own family spectacular and hired Rodgers and Hammerstein for their own musicalized children's classic in primetime. The network put all of its considerable chips on this project, including a huge budget, a color telecast, a rarity then, and a soundtrack album recorded 2 weeks before the event. The ace up the creative team's sleeve was a 22-year-old English actress who was currently making Broadway history at the Mark Hellinger Theater, Julie Andrews. Rodgers and Andrews had wanted to work together on the team's pipe dream until she was whisked away to star in My Fair Lady. And Rodgers and Hammerstein tailored a score to make the most of her considerable charm and skill.
In my own little corner, in my own little chair.
Hammerstein, in particular, worked hard to create a balance between traditional mythology and contemporary taste. He said, "We decided at once there will be absolutely no updating, no naturalistic or Freudian explanations. We wanted a musical version of the story everyone remembers from their childhood."
Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Impossible.
As the broadcast date beckoned, the media attention was enormous. Even Ed Sullivan, who had hosted a preview of the score on his show with Rodgers and Hammerstein, gave up his coveted Sunday night slot for the program. The logistics of the live color broadcast were, in a word, impossible. Over 175 actors, musicians and technicians were crammed into CBS's Studio 72. There could be no mistakes, no retakes, and only 5 commercial breaks. As it turned out, Cinderella was broadcast exactly 14 years to the date of Oklahoma's opening, and exploded as the same kind of national phenomenon. Apparently, for every one television set in North America, there were 4.3 viewers. What the 0.3 viewer looked like, we have no idea. Given that Cinderella was broadcast at the height of Rodgers and Hammerstein's popularity, it quickly burst beyond the television console. The Columbia album was a bestseller, and there was a West End version, which played into the British pantomime tradition.
It's possible.
In 1965, there was a slightly revised version, starring Leslie Ann Warren, that was broadcast on CBS. Color television was far more accessible by then. And in 1997, yet another broadcast was shown to hugely popular ratings on ABC. This Cinderella was the first racially diverse adaptation of a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical to appear anywhere. It was only a matter of time before Cinderella would put her best foot forward on the Broadway stage. In 2013, the story was told once again, this time with a revised book and some song additions, on the stage of the Broadway Theater, in a production that ran over 2 years. No matter the place or the hour, there's no danger of Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella turning into a pumpkin.
I just knew I would find you.
It will be a perennial as long as little girls and boys, and their parents, can dream. In musical theater history, Cinderella can claim its own little corner.
What's wrong with that? Fall-de-fall and fiddle-de-dee, fiddle-de-faddle-de-foodle. All the dreamers in all